us on the pastimes of Lord Nithyananda. Mataji is well known and very popular among the devotees and also outside the devotees for her dedicated service to the Lordship and the Vaishnavas. She is very humble and is eager to provide services to seniors and encourage the youths toward the spiritual path of self-realization through various Krishna conscious activities. Today's program consists of two parts. From 11 to 12 will be the class, and 12 to 12:30 will be live arati of the deities. If you have any questions, please submit through the chat option, and Mataji will try to answer your questions in last 15 minutes of our class. That means from 11:45 to 12. Our total program will be recorded and posted on our website, YouTube, and our WhatsApp group. By thanking each and every one of you, I would like to request Her Grace Dwaraka Devidashi Mataji to enlighten us about the pastime of Lord Nithyananda. Mataji.
Oh. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glory to Srila Prabhupada. I must say thanks to ISKCON Scarborough Temple Council member for giving me this opportunity to speak on the pastimes of Sri Nithyananda Prabhu. First, we will be chanting Jaya Radha Madhava. Then we will go on with the prayers and the class. We will begin the class from there. I pray that I will be getting blessings from all of you. So I will be able to speak something which will be beneficial and pleasing to the ears by the mercy of the Guru and Parampara system, so that I will be able to glorify Lord Nithyananda Prabhu from my heart. Thank you so much. We will start by singing Jaya Radha Madhava. Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Vihari, Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Vihari, Jaya Madhava, Jaya Kunja Vihari, Jaya Madhava, Jaya Kunja Vihari. going to be starting by narrating a few verses from the Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita and from the Chaitanya Bhagavat, and then we will go into the discussion. So let's start with the Mangalacharya. Om Jnana Timiranjasya Jnana Shalasaya Chakshurumilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kalamayam Dadaditi Swaparantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yata Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagara Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Swavaitam Swabhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sahagara Lalita Shri Vishaka Vishambhasya He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kantam Radha Kantam Namaste Tatpakanchana Gauranye Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sutudevi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarabhuscha Kripa Sindhu Evacha Pratitanam Pavanabhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nithyananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nithyananda Sri Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhaktavinda Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nithyananda Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Gaura Bhaktavinda Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nithyananda Sri Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhaktavinda Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nithyananda Sri Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhaktavinda Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nithyananda Sri Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhaktavinda Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nithyananda Sri Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhaktavinda Vande Nata Bhuta Tasyam Sri Nithyananda Ishwaram Yachichaya Yatatva Swarupam Aninapi Nirupaye. This is from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela 5:1. The translation: Let me offer my obeisances to the Supreme Lord Sri Nithyananda Prabhu, whose opulence is wonderful and unlimited. By his grace, by his divine will, even a fool can understand his identity. Next verse is from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela 5:134. Irupa Nityananda Ananta Prakasha Sevava Kahi Muchi Chaitanya Redasa. Lord Nityananda Prabhu has unlimited incarnations and manifestations, but in his own supreme personal transcendental form, he calls himself a servant of Lord Chaitanya. Chaitanya Kripaya Haya Nityananda Derati Nithyananda de janili api nahi askat ati. And this verse is from the Chaitanya Bhagavat Adi Leela 9.220. One becomes attracted to Lord Nithyananda by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. And one who knows Lord Nithyananda never faced any misfortune. Eta parihari oye papi nidha kare tabilita marotara sirare upare. Chaitanya Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat Adi Leela 9.225. I kick the head of any sinful person who disregard the glories of Lord Nithyananda and dare to criticize him. So we will be starting our discussion basing on these verses. So who is Lord Nithyananda? And so to find out who Lord Nithyananda is, we're going to start from in Treta Yuga. In Treta Yuga, when Lord Ramachandra appears to perform his leela or pastimes, Lord Lakshman, his brother, when the Lord appears, he always comes with his devotee or his associate to help him perform the pastimes. So when Lord Ramachandra appeared, he comes with his three other brother, which is Bharat, Lakshman, and Shatrughan. So Lakshman is also, Lord Nithyananda was also Lakshman in that pastimes of Lord Ramachandra. And Lakshman served Lord Ramachandra faithfully. When Lord Ramachandra was exiled to the forest for 14 years, Lakshman, along with Mother Sita, accompanied him there. And there, Lakshman performed unlimited service. He's serving Lord Ramachandra and Mother Sita constantly, day and night. For those 14 years, Lakshman never sleep. He served during the day and he protect during the night. He just sit and watch them taking rest. He never sleep for 14 years. The word Lakshman means spiritual wealth or spiritual fortune. He is blessed with that wealth of spiritual bliss, so he was able to serve. One nice story about the Lakshman pastimes when he was serving, after Mother Sita was being taken away by Ravana, and Lord Ramachandra was searching for her, they happened to meet Hanuman, who promised to take them to Sugriv so that they can get help to find Mother Sita. Lord Sugriv and his brother had a problem, and Lord Ramachandra promised to help Sugriv out of that problem. We're not going to go into detail in the essence of time. So Lord Ramachandra actually helped Sugriv recover his kingdom, and Sugriv time is to help Lord Ramachandra to find Mother Sita. After Sugriv recover his kingdom, he decided to take a little rest, and then he will come to help Lord Ramachandra. Lord Ramachandra and Lakshman is patiently waiting, and 20 days has passed, and he is so absorbed in sense gratification, enjoying his kingdom, and totally forget that Lord Ramachandra is there waiting. So Lord Ramachandra turned to Lakshman and said, "We're waiting for Sugriv help, but he's actually forget, he's enjoying. Can you please go and tell him that we're waiting?" So Lakshman said, "I'll go kill Sugriv right away." Lord Ramachandra said, "No, you just go and tell him that I'm waiting." So Lord Lakshman went, and he just shoot one arrow. Sugriv wake up from his slumber, and he begged forgiveness from Lakshman, and then he come to continue to help for the search of Mother Sita. So Lakshman is actually, or Nithyananda is actually the Adi Guru. Before we can go to Krishna, we have to have the mercy of the Guru. So in each of these incarnations of Nithyananda, you will see the Guru has to come and awaken us from our slumber, from our sleeping, from our turning away from Krishna. We're enjoying material nature to the fullest, or we want to enjoy material nature to the fullest, and we tend to forget that our relationship is to serve the supreme Lord unconditionally. So the Guru there is Lakshman, who went and awakened and remember Sugrim that you know what, you're in Maya. You just have to leave and come and do what you have to do. So taking away way back, reminding us that we have to leave Maya aside and serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Also, when Lakshman was serving Ram and Mother Sita there, Lakshman never eat. For 14 years, he never eat anything. And this was proved by, at the end of when they were going, at the end after Mother Sita was left and they were about to go back to Ayodhya, a question was asked. Lakshman told to Lord Ramachandra that all these 14 years he never ate anything. And Lord Ramachandra said, what? You never eat anything? Every day I offer you fruit. And Lakshman said, no, I did not eat. I can show you that I have all the fruits that you offer me for these 14 years. And Lord Ramachandra asked him to bring that fruit. And he bring all that fruit, and 4 fruit was missing. So Lord Ramachandra said, but 4 fruit are missing, and you said you never eat. He said, my dear Lord, these were the 4 days that you never ever given me anything. So this is to show how Lakshman served unconditionally. He served Lord Ramachandra. In Dwaraka Yuga, when Krishna came as Lord Krishna to perform his Leela again, he always come with his associate. Lakshman or Nithyananda came as Balram, as his elder brother for a reason. When Lakshman was in Treta Yuga serving Lord Ramachandra, it was very painful for him when Mother Sita had to go to Valmiki ashram. After they came from the forest and there was an issue, Lord Ramachandra had to send Mother Sita away from Ayodhya to Valmiki ashram. And Lakshman was asked to take her. And he was so heartbroken that he has to take Sita Devi and leave her there, Mother Sita there. But because he was the younger brother, he could not question. His attitude that he could not question. And he was so angry with himself that I'm the younger brother, I cannot question. And if I should come again to perform Leela, I want to be the elder brother. So in Lord Krishna pastimes, Lakshman came as Lord Balaram. But as Balaram, as the word Balaram means, Bal means strength, and Ram means like all pleasure or spiritual. So Lord Balaram is giving us spiritual strength. He's also the Adi Guru, and he gave us spiritual strength to serve the Lord. So now Lord Balaram, as the elder brother, never get to render service to Krishna. When Lord Balaram is approaching Krishna to massage his lotus feet, Krishna is massaging Balaram's feet because Balaram is the elder brother. And so when Balaram wants to go talk to Krishna and Krishna is with Radha, he doesn't go because he's the elder brother. He doesn't want to go. So he's feeling again, because Lord Balaram represents everything that we're using in Krishna's service. He's an antashek, he's a bed that Lord Krishna is lying on. Even the Mirnanga representing Lord Balaram represent everything that we're using in Krishna service is a representation of Lord Balaram. So Lord Balaram is feeling that When I was the younger brother, I have to listen to him. Now I am the elder brother and he's serving me. So where is my position? I never get to return service. So he said that if I should come back again in any lila, I want to be a servant. I don't want to be any brother, because as the younger brother, I can't serve. As the elder brother, I cannot serve. So directly, I want to be a servant. So in Chaitanya Lila, which happened 5,000 years ago, which was not very long, 500 years ago, Lord Krishna decided to take the form as Lord Nithyananda, as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, to come and taste for a few reasons. One of the reasons was that he's wondering to know why Srimati Radharani is so performing so much love and devotional service. What is Srimati Radharani derived from for performing this unconditional loving service? What is she tasting from offering service to me? He wants to taste that love because she is serving so nicely that he is just struck. I wanted to know. And also, he wants us to come to teach us how to worship him in this age of Kali so we can develop pure love for him. As Krishna, his final instruction in the Bhagavad Gita was chapter 18, text 66, Sarva Dharman Pati Yajna Mam Ekam Saraham Vaja Aham Tvam Sarva Papubhyo Muksha Ishme Masuchaha. Abandon all variety of religion and surrender unto me. I will deliver you from all sinful reaction. Do not fear. So he gives the living jiva, the living entity, and he tells them to abandon all variety of religion and surrender unto me. But he never actually teach them practically how to abandon and how to serve him, that they can develop love for him. So Lord Krishna was feeling a little bad that I did not teach the living entity this, and I am going to come as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to deliver all the falling souls in this age of Kali. And I'm going to take Srimati Radharani love. I want to taste her love. So I'm going to come in a combination form of Srimati Radharani and Krishna with the love, with the love and the color of Srimati Radharani, that golden color, as Sri Chaitanya, and I will need devotee or associate to help me perform this Leela effectively. So Lord Krishna comes in 5 features, in 5 features to teach us how we can serve and worship him and go back home, back to God in this lifetime. So if we see the Panchatattva deities, there are 5, the Lord in 5 features standing there. We will see Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the second from the left, and to his right is Lord Nithyananda, the third from the left. Because next to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Lord Nithyananda, who is an immediate expansion of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is no other than Lakshman or Balaram. And next to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, there is Advaita Acharya, who is also a combined form of Sada Shiva and Mahavishnu. And on the left of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Gajadhar Pandit, who is no other than Srimati Radharani. And next to Gajadhar Pandit is Srivasacharya, who is Narad Muni. So we have the Lord, we have his immediate expansion, we have his Vishnu or his Vishnu expansion, and then we have his internal potency, and then we have the devotee. So Srimati Radharani is the internal potency, and Narad Muni is actually the great devotee of Lord Chaitanya. So he come in these 5 features, and with the help of all of them, he was able to inaugurate the Sankirtan movement, the chanting of this Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So go back to Lord Nithyananda now. Nithyananda Prabhu was 12 years older than Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Nithyananda Prabhu make his transcendental appearance around, not a specific date was given, but around 1474 in Ekachakra, village called Ekachakra in West Bengal and in the month of Magh. And his father name was Hardai Pandit and his mother name was Padmavati. So Nithyananda Prabhu becomes the eye, the soul, and the heart of Hardai Pandit and Padmavati. Every day Hardai Pandit leave to go out, he would look at the face of Nithyananda Prabhu and just meditate on him all the time. Nithyananda Prabhu was the life and soul of his parents. As Nithyananda is growing up, actually his name Nithyananda means eternally blissful. So he's always joyful, performing different lila and pastimes. So as a young child, Nithyananda would act play of the Ramayana. He would get all his friends them, and this was his favorite play. He would perform the pastimes when Lord Ramachandra went to exile, when Mother Sita was gone away, and he's Lakshman, and he's being shot with an arrow, and he will instruct the boys that you have to go get a mountain, get a medicine from the mountain, and you bring it to me, and then I will regain consciousness. So he constantly performed pastimes. And all the inhabitants of Ekachakra, they're always wondering to know that how come this boy know these pastimes and he will perform it so nicely? They always wonder to know. So one day as they were performing their pastimes, he got shot by the bow of Indrajit, and he was unconscious. So being unconscious, they have to get the leaf of life to relieve him. But everybody was worried that he's actually unconscious. He's lying there stunned. And the little boys forget that they have to go for the medicine from the mountain to get him cured. And everybody was there. Then they're wondering, no, what happened to Ram or Nithyananda Ram? So suddenly one of the boys remembers, so, oh yes, we have to go to the mountain to get this leaf of life to revive him. So once they went there and they bring that, pretend as they bring that, Nithyananda Ram will come back. And so he was the life and soul, as Krishna was the life and soul for all the inhabitants of Goloka. That is how Nithyananda Ram was the life and soul for all the inhabitants of Ekachakra. So one day, there was one Brahmana who visited Hardai Pandit home. And as usual, when the Brahmana come, Hardai Pandit will treat them, will feed them, wash their lotus feet, will give them a place to rest. And that Brahmana spend the night with Hardai Pandit discussing pastimes of the Lord. And Hardai Pandit served him so nicely. When he was about to leave the following morning, Hardai Pandit asked him, if there's anything more I can give you, I want you to be happy, whatever. And he said, yes, I'm satisfied with you. I'm very happy the way you serve me. But I'm an old Brahmana now, and I'm traveling for different places of pilgrimage. And I don't have anybody to accompany me in my travel. Can you please send your son Nitai with me so that he can able to serve me and I can able to finish my traveling nicely. That news or that thing was like striking to Hardai Pandit's heart. He was wondering to know, how am I going to part with my Nitai? He did not know what to say, but he went and he spoke to his wife, and she was very devastated. How are we going to part with our Nitai? But it's coming time for Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appearance and for him to actually inaugurate this Sankirtan movement. So Nitai had to leave home somewhere or the other. So this was all his arrangement. He's the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He's no different than Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or Krishna. And so, with a heavy heart and a very sad heart, Harai Pandit has no other choice. He had offered the Brahmana that Nitai is young and I can come with you, but the Brahmana said, no, I want Nitai to come with me. And so he had no choice. Nitai left Ekachakradam to accompany this Brahmana on pilgrimage. This incident, Harai Pandit never get over this incident, and Mother Padmavati always tell him, when she see him in the side, when she will see him there, she said, Prabhu, are you still alive? Your son had left you and gone and you're still alive? Raja Dasharatha died because when Lord Ramachandra gave up his life while Lord Ramachandra went to the forest. How come you're still alive when the son is not here? And so Harai Pandit would reply and said, I wish I could have do what Raja Dasharatha did, but I'm thinking, if I leave my body and go and Nitai come back, he would not see me. So I'm waiting for him to come back. And time had passed and Harai Pandit could not bear the separation from Nitai. He actually gave up his body. And in a little while after, Mother Padmavati also gave up their body, thinking on the lotus feet of Lord Nithyananda. They both left and went back to the abode Vaikuntha Loka. Nithyananda Prabhu continued his travel. He traveled to many, many different places of pilgrimage. And when he was about to reach where Lord Chaitanya was in Navadip, he happened to meet Madhavendra Puri. And we know that Madhavendra Puri is the root of where our devotional service sprung from. This meeting with Madhavendra Puri and Lord Nithyananda were very ecstatic. It was such a mood of love that as soon as Lord Nithyananda saw Madhavendra Puri, he actually lost consciousness and became still lying flat on the ground. And Madhavendra Puri in turn, when he also see Nithyananda Prabhu, he also felt that ecstatic love and he also fainted with deep love for Nithyananda Prabhu. They both revived and they hugged each other, and this was a very nice, loving relationship. They talked for a while, they exchanged, they do so many things for a while, and then Nithyananda Prabhu had to leave to continue his journey to go to where Lord Chaitanya was. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has already taken his birth. He has grown a little. It's time for him to actually inaugurate his Sankirtan movement. He had already married Vishnu Priya and Lakshmi Priya. Lakshmi Priya and Vishnu Priya, Lakshmi Priya had left, and then he remarried to Vishnu Priya and he took sannyas. That was very painful for everybody, for Mother Sachi, because after Lord Nithyananda, elder brother Vishwarup, after he left to take sannyas, Mother Sachi and Jagannath Mishra was very hurt, and they had wanted Lord Nithyananda Prabhu to get married. They actually stopped all his schooling, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because they were scared that Vishwarup studied the scriptures so much that he actually took sannyas and he left them and they don't know where he is. And we are very scared that Nimai Pandit was at that time that he will also be studying the scripture and he will leave us. And so in this way, they actually stopped Lord Chaitanya, Nimai Pandit from school. But Nimai Pandit was so naughty. He will go to the Ganga, he will take bath, he will sport all day. He will take all the clothes of the Brahmanas that were bathing there and he will hide them. He will go into the Ganga, he will pull their dhoti. He will do so much as a normal naughty child would do. And when they come to complain to Jagannath Mishra, before they reach the complaint, Nimai would come home and he will dry, he will shower, and he will say, no, I wasn't there. I was not at Ganga today. And so he carry on with his pastimes. Eventually, they had to send him back to school because he would go and sit in that place where they will cook and put all the dirty dishes pile up. And Nimai Pandit will go and sit there because he wants to go back to school. So he's doing something, doing some mischief, and Mother Sachi cannot tolerate. And then they decide that, you know what, he will go back to school. When Nimai Pandit was in school, his friend was Gajadhar Pandit. So as we know that Gajadhar Pandit was Srimati Radharani. And he used to be troubling him so much with different questions for philosophy and argue with him and talk philosophy with him. And Gajadhar Pandit would say, why is Nimai not leaving me alone? He's bothering me so much. All the time. And Gajadhar Pandit will just sit and listen what Nimai is saying and tolerate everything he's saying. And so when Nimai reached her age, he was married to Lakshmi Priya. And unfortunately, Lakshmi Priya left very young, very short into that marriage. And then he remarried to Vishnu Priya. Nimai Pandit went when Jagannath Mishra leave his body. He went to Gaya to perform the Shraddha ceremony. There is where he meet his guru, Ishwar Puri. And he meet Ishwar Puri and he took initiation from him. And there is where he actually wanted to thinking about starting his Sankirtan movement. He was very, very educated. And at that time, nobody could actually challenge Nimai Pandit and win their debate. There was one great Pandit named the Digvijay Pandit who actually would go around and debate with all the scholars around there, and he always win. But he tried with Nimai Pandit and he could not. And he was wondering to know how come Nimai Pandit defeat him. And so he usually prayed to Mother Saraswati, and he went to Saraswati and he asked her that, dear Mother, I pray to you every day and you always protect me. How come Nimai Pandit was able to defeat me? And then Mother Saraswati said that Nimai Pandit is my worshipper Lord, and he is also your worshipper Lord. How can you defeat him? And so the Digvijay Pandit actually surrendered to Nimai Pandit, and he realized that, you know what I was saying is not right. Nimai Pandit is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and I have to worship him and I have to serve him. So he became a devotee of Lord Nithyananda. So Lord Chaitanya actually is planning to take sannyas. So he wanted to go and take sannyas, and Mother Sachi was hearing this, that Nimai Pandit is planning to go take sannyas. She was very hurt, but as Providence, she could not stop. Nimai Pandit went to Gaya, I think, and he took sannyas initiation from okay, I remember as I'm going. He took sannyas initiation from, I know what I can. Anyway, he took sannyas initiation, and Keshava Bharati. He took his initiation from Keshava Bharati, and Keshava Bharati was hesitant to give Nimai Pandit sannyasi initiation, because he said that you are so young, you're 24 years old. At that time, Nimai Pandit was 24 years old. And most of all, when he asked that barber to take the hair, they shaved the hair from Nimai Pandit, that barber was crying. He was saying, such a beautiful hair, I can't bear. He was actually refusing to actually shave Nimai Pandit hair, but finally he did it. And after that, that barber said, I would never ever shave anybody here again, because it's break my heart to see this young person. Check the door. To see this young person take sannyas. So Nimai Pandit take sannyas and he becomes Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. After taking sannyas, he is going to inaugurate his Sankirtan movement. When Lord Nithyananda came to Navadip, he stays in the house of Namacharya. Okay, he stays in the home of one devotee. I remember that name. Sure. And in Cognizant, he was like hiding away from Lord Nithyananda at that time. He was hiding. He came and he stays in that house, and he Namacharya. He stays in that Prabhu's house, and he was incognito. He was just hiding from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Mahaprabhu, being the Supreme Personality of Godhead, realized that Lord Nithyananda is there now, and the Sankirtan movement has to start. So Mahaprabhu went to Srivasacharya house, and there Nithyananda Prabhu was invited, and this meeting with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Chaitanya is indescribable. So much ecstatic love between the two brothers. There was hugging, there was chanting, there was crying, there were dancing. It was so blissful. It was so blissful that all the devotees around there was amazed to see this meeting with Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nithyananda. Lord Nithyananda, before we can develop the love for Lord Chaitanya, we actually has to love Lord Nithyananda. Without the mercy of Guru, we cannot get the mercy of Krishna. And so, Lord Nithyananda is the Adi Guru. He represents the Guru, all the Gurus. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And so, we have to love Lord Chaitanya Lord Nithyananda before we get the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. And on this point, I'm going to tell you one story about Lord Nithyananda. If we don't develop love for Lord Nithyananda, we will not be able to get the love of Lord Chaitanya. So there is one nice associate of Lord Nithyananda by the name of Nina Kitam Ramdas. So Nina Kitam Ramdas is an eternal associate of Lord Nithyananda, and he was invited to go to the house of Krishna Das Kaviraj for Sankirtan, congregational chanting and dancing of the holy name. And anyone who sees Minakita Ramdas is always ecstatic, and they develop love for Nithyananda Prabhu immediately. So while Nimakita Ramdas was in the house of Krishna Das Kaviraj, who is actually the author of Chaitanya Charitamrita, there was one pujari there in Krishna Das Kaviraj home, whose name was Guna Nirva Mishra. And Guna Nirva Mishra did not respect Lord Nithyananda at all. And because he do not have any respect for Lord Nithyananda, the brother of Krishna Das Kaviraj, whose name was Shamadas, was also there, and he do not have any faith in Lord Nithyananda. So this was Shamadas is the brother of Krishnadas Kaviraj, who do not have any faith, and he was being also influenced by this Pujari. So they don't have any faith for Lord Nithyananda. And because of that, Sri Nina Pita Ramdas was very hurt. He broke his flute and he left that place and he went away. So this proved that if we don't have love for Lord Nithyananda, we cannot love Lord Chaitanya. And the most important part of this story is that when Nimakita Ramdas left and he went away, Krishnadas Kaviraj rebuked his brother, Shamadas, and he said, "This is very offensive what you have done." And Lord Nithyananda, that very night, dreamed Krishnadas Kaviraj and asked him, because of this incident, you should leave that place and you should go to Vrindavan. So Krishnadas Kaviraj left and he went to Vrindavan, and in his old age, he was inspired to write the Chaitanya Charitamrita. So we have to develop love for Lord Nithyananda before we can get love for Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So as Lord Chaitanya Nithyananda Prabhu is eternally blissful, we the living entity in this age, as I can say for myself, we are Nitya Mudha, or I am Nitya Mudha, because I'm not actually blissful. Eternally, I'm hoping that by the mercy of Lord Nithyananda, we will become blissful also. So seeing that tomorrow we're going to celebrate the transcendental appearance of Lord Nithyananda, who is our Adi Guru within our heart, who is going to take away all the misery or all the dirt that we have in our heart, so we can able to develop love for Lord Chaitanya. Let us pray to the lotus feet of Lord Nithyananda to take away our foolish mentality, all our contamination, so that we can also become eternally blissful and able to serve with love and devotion. In this Panchatattva also, Gajadhar Pandit, who is Srimati Radharani, Gajadhar Pandit in this Panchatattva is actually Srimati Radharani bereft of love for Krishna, because Krishna took all her love as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and come to distribute it freely to the Jiva here. So Gajadhar Pandit in the Panchatattva is begging us with his hands raised in the air. He is begging the Jiva that please give me love so I can offer to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So this Panchatattva, these 5 features of the Lord, his expansion, his Vishnu expansion, his eternal potency, and his devotee is actually begging us to give love and teaching us how to love and serve him in this age of Kali. So let us all pray to the lotus feet of Lord Nithyananda, so we can also able to develop love for Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He is no other than Lord Ramachandra. Who is no other than Lord Krishna, and we can able to worship nicely by the Yuga Dharma, this Sankirtan Yajna that has been given to us, which is the easy way. Harinama, Harinama, Harinama Eva Kevalam, Kalunastevam, 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 Evam Vachayanita. In this age of quarrel and hypocrisy, in this dark age, the only process to get out of this material world is the Harinam Sankirtan Yajna. So let us all chant nicely. Let us all beg Lord Nithyananda wholeheartedly, so we can remove this Nitya Mudha, and we can become Nitya. We can become eternally blessed. Nithyananda, eternally blissful, and we can able to serve the Lordship wholeheartedly. Thank you so much. I think our time is just 5 minutes more before Aarti. Amal Prabhu.
Yes, thank you, Mataji, for giving a wonderful class today. And the thing is, we have covered so many things, life of Nityananda Prabhu, life of the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and also other associates of the Gauranga Mahaprabhu. The last message we like, and you get nicely, that the only thing is to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Thank you, Mataji. So if there is any question, any of you, you can directly ask question to Mataji, or Mataji will continue her last part of the class if she wants, and then we'll start the live Arati. Is there any questions from anyone? Please. Okay, Mataji, in the meantime, you can actually say a little bit about, you already told that Nityananda Mahaprabhu came as elder brother, right? Did he came other any time in the past times as another elder brother other than Balaram? So Balaram was elder brother, and Nityananda Prabhu was the avatar of Balaram.
Yeah, he came as a servant.
Is there any time, I cannot remember, is there any time he came as elder brother? But most of the time, only younger brother, like Lakshmana, right?
Yeah.
Is there any time he was as...
Actually, Lord Nithyananda is also the elder brother, but he did not act as the elder brother immediately. He acted as a servant because he did not want to be an elder brother to take instruction again from, he does not want not to help serve, because in Balaram pastimes, he did not get very much opportunity to serve Lord Krishna directly. So he took this form. He's also the elder brother, but he took the form as a servant. So he helped. And a wonderful pastime that I missed from Lord Chaitanya from Lord Nithyananda is when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instruct Lord Nithyananda to propagate this Harinam Sankirtan Yajna. So he sent him out to preach from village to village, and Haridas Thakur was accompanying him in this preaching. So Lord Nithyananda would go to every house. He would knock at the door and he will beg them. He will go to his knees and he will beg them to chant his Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. And he will actually jump in the ocean and he will pull the crocodile and he will hug the crocodile. So humble he is. And he will beg even to the crocodile to chant the holy name of the Lord. And we can see the transformation that took place when he was doing this preaching, because he happened to meet the most sinful two brothers, Jagai and Madai. And when he was trying them when he tried to instruct them, then he was hurt by Madai, who actually hit him with a earthen pot, and Nithyananda bleed from his forehead. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard this, and he came immediately with his Sudarshan Chakra to kill Madai. But Jagai was saved because he did not do the act, but Madai was the one who actually hit with the pot. And Madai said, if you're going to save Jagai, the two of us commit all the offenses together, all the offenses you can think about, but you're saving him, then you can save me too. He's begging my Lord. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, the only way you can be saved if you have the mercy of Lord Nithyananda. And Lord Nithyananda begged Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that you did not come to kill in this age. You come to give people love of God without not killing, by giving this Harinam Sankirtan. You're not killing them literally, but you're giving him this mantra so they can become purified. So this is how merciful Lord Nithyananda is. He actually asked Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, no, that you're going to save them both because I was not hurt. And then Mahaprabhu said, I will save them once you take instruction. Ask Lord Nithyananda, what can you do to revive your sinful activity? And you can see that when these two brothers was relieved from their sinful activity, Mahaprabhu body, whole body become black because they had performed so much of sinful activity, but Mahaprabhu absorbed all their sinful activity and liberate them. And then Nithyananda Prabhu asked them that to get rid of your sinful activity, you build a ghat by the river where everybody is taking bath. And as the devotees are coming there to take bath, you serve them nicely. And they become the best devotee of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So this is all happening because of the mercy of Lord Nithyananda. So he's actually the elder brother, but he played a part of servant.
Thank you, Mataji. Wonderfully stated the thing. We learned this part too. So thank you very much. Thanks, everyone. Please join live Aarti now. It will continue from 12 to 12:30.
Yes. So
the noble Lord Nithyananda is never angry, for he is the personification of supreme transcendental bliss. Devoid of any concept of false ego, Nitai wanders about the town. Going from door to door in the residences of the most fallen and wretched souls, he freely distributes the gift of the Harinama Mahamantra. He exclaims to whomever he sees while holding straw between his teeth, "Please purchase me by worshipping Gauda Hari." Saying thus, Nithyananda Prabhu rolls about on the ground, appearing like a golden mountain tumbling in the dust. Lochana Das of Thakur says, whoever has not experienced the awakening of affection for such an avatar as this, that sinful person simply comes and goes uselessly in the cycle of repeated birth and death. Jai.
Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Devaki Nitanda Swami Saraswati Devi Gaurvani Prajapati Nirvashera Punyavadi Vastajai Sadam Krishna Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Show them this daisy, sir.
भक्ति सिद्धांत सर्वोत्तम शिव प्रभुपाद की जय। राधा कृष्ण गोविंद जगन्नाथ गुरु महाराज मुर्गा बिराम की जय। गंगा देवी की जय। भक्ति देवी की जय। सामवेद भक्त वृंद की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे।
हरे कृष्ण
हरे कृष्ण
हरे कृष्ण
हरे कृष्ण हरे आनंद प्रभु की जय। हरि हरि
जय।
परम करुणा बहुदुई जन निताय गौरचंद्र। परम करुणा बहुदुई जन निताय गौरचंद्र। सब अवतार सारा शिरोमणि केवल आनंद कंदा। सब अवतार सारा शिरोमणि केवल आनंद कंदा। 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 भजो भजो भाई चैतन्य निताय सुदृढ़ विश्वास कोरी। भजो भजो भाई